Hi, everyone. This is an introduction to Project 3. Project 3 is a little bit different than the other two, that we're teaching you some skills, both painting in the program and some skills that had to do with ideas about showing space in two-dimensional work, the illusion of 3D space in two-dimensional work. In Project 3, we're going to do something a bit more conceptual. We're making a what I call collage portrait, and you're going to pick an artist. I'm going to read actually right from the project sheet so that you can hear me read it and go over it, explain it. So Project 3, collage painting portrait of a well-known visual artist in Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator. 1, choose 3 artists you respect and who you would enjoy researching for this project. Confer with the professor by email or in Zoom to choose the best one for this project. So it has to be somebody who you've been wanting to know more about, an artist that perhaps you don't know a lot about now, but will when you've researched their art and life. So that's part 2. Read about this artist's art and life. Make an idea board and or folders for visual ideas for this project. Watch my videos of examples of collage portraits. So I made several videos, or I'm making several videos about the background in art of making collage portraits. So last semester with students in class, in Zoom class, because we did Zoom last semester, I talked about self-portraits that were collage. So there's a video about that. And I also am going to make a video about just collage painting. So there'll be several videos about the history of collage painting. And then I would like you to come and confer with me in Zoom in my office hour, or you can just email your choices and I'll pick one of them. The same way we've been communicating about the photos that you painted from in projects 1 and 2. So that's the first thing that you have to do is choose the artist who you're going to use as a subject for this project with my help. Then part 3, do a rough sketch of your portrait composition. This can include rough drawings or design designations. For example, line drawing of pet dog could be an area in your painting. Or, you can draw in the figure and how big you're going to make it of the artist or of the artist's face if you're not going to include the whole figure. So this rough is actually, it can include drawings or just spatial designations, but I want you to plan it. So it's a rough line drawing of how you're going to lay out this portrait. So I'm going to make a video. I think there is one actually in my files. So it says, watch video demo on Canvas about making rough drawings. Confer with the professor again to approve your rough. So you must show me your rough before you move on, because I may have some suggestions for that. Number 4, choose your base program for this project in which you will make your layers. You can place images into Illustrator from Photoshop or vice versa. Combine, collage, some of the drawing and painting methods we've learned in this class. Line drawing has been a method. Perspective, we use perspective. Chiaroscuro rendering, we just did an exercise about that. Creating areas of texture, many of you learned that in Project 2. You started to use the Photoshop brushes to create areas of texture, etc. In Illustrator and Photoshop, you can use masks to eliminate areas you don't want to keep. So in Illustrator, there's a clipping mask, but that I think doesn't work quite as well as the Photoshop layer masks. And there's about 4 of them in Photoshop. We're going to do exercises 6 and 7 explicitly about 3, using 3 of the different masks. And I'll show you the 4th one as well. 5, combine elements and layers. Use layers to your advantage. What I mean by that is the same thing that I talked about in projects 1 and 2, in that layers can help you keep groups of parts of your painting separate from other parts. So in this case, we're not designating necessarily background, middle ground, foreground. It would be more the different areas of your painting that you're trying to keep separate in order to go back to them and maybe change them, paint some more. So 6, save as a PDF with layers to hand in. Label the file with your name, project 3, artist name, and that's who the collage is about. So just a remark about the PDFs. If it's a Photoshop PDF, you can still see the layers by opening it in Photoshop. Just want to say that because several people, when they made the PDF and brought it into Acrobat, complained that since it was a Photoshop PDF, they couldn't see the layers anymore. But I know that you can still see them if you save as a PDF with layers, and that's in the interface, and then make sure that layers is checked, and then you can open it again in Photoshop later, even though it's a PDF, and you can see the layers. And you can even work on it as long as you keep Photoshop editing capabilities checked as well when you save it as a PDF. Okay. The next video I'm going to make, but I'm going to separate these into 2 videos, is to show you some student examples that were made last semester. And they were really pretty wonderful. So I would like to show them to you, and I'll do that in a separate video. Thank you.